I live in Cuba. It's humid. It's hot all year round.
Yeah.
I just needed Namibian winter, dry air.
99 FM, your inspiration station. Time now for our Paratus Game Changer of the Day. Now, you know, when we talk about game changers, you talk about individuals that are not just moving and shaking things in their, for themselves and in their own little circles, but people that are doing things that could change lives beyond that. And in the building, we have someone that we had a chat with almost 3 years ago now. It's been quite a little minute, but our game changer of the day is founder, director, producer at
Voigush Media. Yes.
And we're going to have a chat and update on that as well.
Yeah.
A student at the University of Havana in Cuba and an advocate for health in general, but e-health in specific or in particular. And definitely a friend of 99 FM, Tuwilika Nafuka in the building.
Thank you for having me.
I tried my best at the intro. I tried my absolute best at the intro.
No, it was great. It was great. You missed a couple of stuff, but yeah, we're gonna get into that.
So let's update our 99 FM CV for Tuwilika right now. A lot has happened since we last spoke.
Yeah.
Like I said, 3 years ago, the world is a different space. But so before I get into any of that, how are you doing, like personally?
I'm actually doing really well. I came home from my summer holidays, came to see family. Wow, I actually learned, I think when COVID hit, I really learned the importance of family. Being in contact with people, because generally I am, kind of like a loner. But yeah, I think COVID did that thing to me. And the weather was really great. But you guys are heading into spring now, and I think it's time for me to leave.
It's time to bounce. Is it the for people with sinus issues? That's me. I need to get out of here right now.
It's not even that. Like, I live in Cuba. It's humid. It's hot all year round.
Yeah.
I just needed Namibian winter, dry air.
But you got like a little like 5% of the winter that we had here. Right?
Yeah, but it was great. It was worth it though.
But it's time now.
Yeah, it's time
it's
to go
time
back
to bounce.
to go to my full all year summer life, island living. Yeah.
So let's go back to where we left off in 2019, Voigush Media. Life has kind of navigated you in different spaces since. But
True.
how's that project going?
Well, my business partner, who's also a co-founder, Luis Munana. You guys call him Luis. I don't know who Luis is, guys.
I call him Louis.
Yeah, okay, Louis is okay, but his name is actually Luis Munana.
Luis, shout out to you. I'm sorry for butchering your name.
So he's actually the co-founder we're co-founders of Voigush.
Yeah.
We started this company when we were 19. And I think in our early 20s, that's when we got our huge break to have to produce TV for MBC. Independent producers, never been done before. Especially for people that didn't really study towards media. But we took a break. We're still on a break. I'm not allowed to give any details.
Oh, that means something's coming up.
Yes, something is coming up. We're cooking. Louise, Kalistu, myself. But I can't give details.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
You see, when my heart is hurting because now I want to know.
No, you guys you have to be patient. You have to be patient.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Talk to me about Tuwilika in Havana. How's that journey coming along?
It is, I don't know. It's weird. Imagine you being pulled out of capitalism and being dropped into socialism. It's a whole different reality. But I think that at the same time, I really feel fortunate to be living in Cuba. Because, you read about Cuba, but living in Cuba, living like a Cubana, como gente de la pueblo, is just it's a whole different experience.
Yeah. I'm going to pretend I understood exactly what you said. And I'm going to say bien.
Basically just living as a person of the country has been a really great experience. I've learned so many things from Cubans about the embargo. This year was rough. Hey, we had protests. But hey, we got internet now. We got internet on our mobile devices. We didn't used to have. That was
That's the one thing that baffled me so much because I do have family in Cuba and it's sometimes I feel like they're playing with me when they're like, no, I can't really connect with you. And I'm like, you're just socially distancing from me. And way ahead of the pandemic.
Internet used to be really expensive. 1 hour used to go, when I got there in 2016, 1 hour was like $5 US. And you had to go to a Wi-Fi spot to connect. And it was like specific spots.
Yeah.
So it's like specific hotels.
wow.
But since last year, we've had it. Yeah, it's on our mobile devices now. It's still expensive. Can't really do the conversion, but it's expensive. It's not what you guys have here with MTC.
No, we living good.
You guys are living good. I'm so envious.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that I'm back, also I'm
Paratus as
kind of
well.
like appreciating Atexa, which is a telecommunication company in Cuba. We only got one. Yeah, because communism.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah. Their rates are, I don't know, I feel like the quality comparing to MTC or like telecom is it's actually better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't connect or make calls for a while when I got here. That was very frustrating.
We're gonna visit Cuba and check it out.
You should visit Cuba. Interesting fact, actually, Namibia and Cuba have quite a interesting relationship. There's a Isla de Juventud, which is like a mini island off the island, and we've got like a monument there dedicated to Namibia.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I need to check that
I didn't
out.
know the relationship was that deep, but yeah, it is.
I mean, I read it was that deep, but you never really know until you know, right?
Up until you actually get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Cubans love Namibians.
Yeah?
They're like, you're from Namibia? I love Namibia. Then they're like, Sem New Yoma. Okay, that's like
Yeah,
very
like,
typical of
yeah.
everybody, but yeah.
Hey, at least you know us, you know?
Yeah,
You
at
go
least you
anywhere
know
else in
us.
the world, they're like, Nambia?
Yeah, Nambia.
Interesting.
Yeah, Nambia.
Let's dial it back a bit to 2000 and something.
Okay.
You modeled for Ingo, you know? Remember the
Yes.
Fashion Meets Poetry night?
Remember that.
Are we going to see you on the runway anytime soon?
No, the thing is, Ingo actually was one of the designers that used to dress me when I worked in media, and that particular dress from that particular collection, I got to wear it to the Durban July. I think that was 2015, right? And yeah, we took these epic pictures with then President Jacob Zuma and his wife, and I remember that particular picture made rounds on social media. Then he asked me to actually partake to close his show.
Ooh, closing act.
Yeah, well, it was a closing act. That was nice,
Yeah.
actually. But I'll never do it again.
Never.
No.
They say never say never. Are you saying
I
never
did it
for
as
real?
a favor. I love Ingo. I love his work.
Yeah.
I respect him so much. He's really been driving, fashion in this
Yeah.
country.
100%.
So I was obviously honored to like walk for him. It was really just one of those things. Those
So
ones.
it's a one-off.
We are one-off.
Okay. so talk to me about e-health.
Yeah.
Where's your journey with that right now?
That's so interesting. I can't actually give too much information, but we're actually building a startup now, actually. That's what we're
Okay.
doing. I think that the last time that I was here, 2019, we get to 2020, the pandemic hits, right? And one thing that I think that Namibia has learned, it's hopefully still is learning, is the importance of health information, registered health information. Because now it's like you're getting the vaccine, but you don't actually know statistics of how many people, are immunocompromised and should get the vaccine first. Because you don't actually have this data properly recorded in what we call a health information system. That's kind of like the system that exists in the Ministry of Health and Social Services. So the lesson here is really that I think that people should digitize their health passports. And even just if you look at like the COVID, like how they're rolling out the vaccine, you
Yeah.
can't register for it online, for
Yeah,
example,
yeah.
or via text message.
Or there's
You
these
have to go
long
sit,
queues.
long queue. You have to go sit and you have to go fill in this form. But like, imagine if you could actually pre-fill in this form, and all you have to do is just show up for your shot. It would be better, right? It would save everyone.
Because I sat in the queues twice. I sat in the queues 3 times to get 2 vaccinations.
Yeah.
The first time, obviously, didn't get to the end of the queue.
Really?
Yeah, and I sat I took leave. I was off the whole day, and I had my water bottle and my
And you
fruits,
were
and I was ready.
Yeah.
And I think the importance is it can't be understated.
Yeah.
At a time like this as well, where everything, I think the pandemic showed us that like digital is so important.
It is so important. I mean, I think it's so important to the point where I know the president just recently, not recently, I think like a month or 2 months ago, actually appointed a collective of people that are going to be responsible for the fourth industrial revolution. But like, you look at the country, like you're introducing, a committee for that. This is where e-health would fall.
Yeah.
But obviously you're looking at like these ministries where people don't even respond to emails.
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, you need the infrastructure to
know.
be kind of
Yeah.
in place for these things to work, for the fourth industrial revolution to
true,
really take
but
place.
I also feel like you can just use what you already have. What do we currently have, and how can we use that and actually already sort of like educate people on like what it would mean if everything is digitized. Yeah, but it's a population of what, 2.5 million. It shouldn't really be that much of a hard job, right? You would think.
You would
but,
think.
Yeah.
You would think. There's another project that you've been working on in the past X amount of years.
Yeah.
We briefly just mentioned it off air. Talk to me about the project.
Okay, so 2 years ago, we started a little NGO called Aina Community. So we're basically a digital grassroots organization that is advocating for gender-based violence. So we came to discover that basically in Namibia, I think that we're treating children as second-hand citizens because sexual crimes committed to minors in this country are not included on a police clearance certificate. So what does that mean? That means that anybody who's ever been convicted of any sexual crime where the victim was a minor, they can easily get a job to work as a teacher, to work as a caretaker, to work in an orphanage, to work with
Basically,
children.
to work with children.
Yeah, because their crime does not appear on a police clearance certificate. So we actually we petitioned to the various ministries, specifically Ministry of Gender and Child Welfare.
Yeah.
Ministry of Justice as well. Our petition got, I think, about, was it 5,000 signatures actually. Yeah.
Is it still like chance for people to?
Yeah, you can definitely still sign it. But I don't know, like, I think you can still sign it if you want to sign it.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've seen like the conversation in the past year. The conversation of a sex offender registry made it to Parliament. They're talking about enactment of the law. But let's be very realistic. This is obviously going to take a really long time, But I mean,
Or like a really aggressive like push, really.
True. I think generally people in this country are very, I think we're worried about having such a platform, but a sex offender registry is what would connect the police to actually pull that information off the registry and then put it on a clearance certificate. Because the Ministry of Justice is saying the reason why it doesn't currently appear on the police clearance certificate is because they are protecting the victim. But it sounds to me like they're protecting,
someone else is being protected in that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a really complex issue.
Yeah.
But there's so many other ways that we can actually sort of like assess or introduce different mechanisms in school, because a sex offender initially is supposed to sort of function as a mechanism in schools or prevent schools from actually hiring people that have been convicted of sexual crimes.
Yeah.
But I think that there are other mechanisms that we can actually introduce. So we're currently working on a little chatbot that we're hoping we can use in Namibian schools as an assessment tool for gender-based violence in schools. Yeah.
And I think it's that's beautiful work being done, and it needs to be like across the board.
It has to be across the board.
In terms of like just normalizing the conversations as well. And in the past, like we said, a year, maybe even the past 2 years, we've seen conversations come up, and like you said, you have to be honest, and you see some of the comments, whether you're on Facebook or whatever, you see some of the comments and you realize that like this stuff is so normal. The protection of perpetrators is so normal.
It's so normal
that it's gonna take like almost like a grassroots revolution.
Yeah. But I do understand why people are reacting the way that they're reacting. I know somebody who's been accused of rape. We all know we either all know a rapist or we know somebody that has been accused of rape. Yeah. So I think it's one of those things, because of the relationship and the attachment that you have to this person. Obviously, it's what pulls you back to saying, okay, I'm not going to participate in this conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So where can we get in touch in terms of petitions and all of that?
So currently our website is actually down for the moment because we're revamping. But we've got a Twitter, we've got an Instagram that is Aina Community. Yeah, Aina Community. It was just I-A-double-N-A
A.
and then community.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where we'll get in touch.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're pressed for time, but we do want to continue the conversation. So maybe when you're back in Cuba sometime, we'll give you
Go back in Cuba.
back in.
You guys are gonna call me in Cuba?
We're gonna call you in Cuba.
Okay.
to-
Hopefully the call will come through.
And find out. No, it's definitely coming through to find out. Like I said, you're a friend of 99 and you're doing amazing things, and that's why you're our game changer of the day.
Thank you so much for having me, Script.
Anytime. Game changer of the day, Tuwilika Nafuka in the building, and we're getting into some jams right now. It is Blackstreet coming up next with No Diggity.